host, Jen Bell, as always. Welcome back. So we are doing another review today, and we are talking about Class of 1984. It came out in 1982, I believe. Yes, 1982. So this one does have a couple of sequels, Class of 1999 and Class of 1999 Part 2. I have not seen the second Class of 1999, but I have seen 99. Pretty good movie, so definitely check both movies out. But first off, we are talking about this movie. This is your, kind of, I guess, basically run-of-the-mill sort of story of a new teacher to a high school that, he's very motivated to have an influence, always wants to be there for the kids and everything. But this school is pretty much overrun by, gangs and stuff. And there's a few, good little, apples in here and everything. Couple of good students and everything that he sees potential in. But unfortunately, he's being harassed by, like I said, this kind of, main gang that kind of basically runs the school. And I have to say, this kid, this leader of this gang, basically all he is a spoiled little freaking brat who just does whatever the hell he wants and does what he can to get what he wants. He's just a spoiled brat, but whatever. But this gang just makes everyone's life a living hell. They harass this teacher, they harass other teachers, they harass the cops and stuff. And here's the thing, the leader of this gang is a smooth talker. He gets off so many times, and you get as frustrated as this new teacher does with this kid, because you're like, dude, this kid's selling drugs, this kid's killing people, do something, so, but you're right there, you get invested in this movie, at least I did, so, and by the way, I have to mention, there is a very young Michael J. Fox in this, although he is credited as Michael Fox. Didn't quite have the J in it yet, so I'm just saying. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see him in this movie and everything. So, kind of before he became famous and everything. I don't think this was his first role by any means, Michael J. Fox, but it was one of his earlier roles, pre-Family Ties, pre-Back to the Future and all that, and pre-Doc Hollywood and Frighteners and all this stuff, before he, literally heartbeat before he became this megastar, so it's fun to kind of watch this movie for that. But this is a pretty decent movie. It's set, it is obviously set in the 80s, but it does feel, at least to me, and I don't even know how to explain it fully, but it almost has that sort of, yeah, it's set in the 80s, but it almost seems like it could be the distant future, and maybe it's just a little, prologue that they have at the beginning and stuff, and I have to say, because the prologue says something sort of to the extent of, this is how the school is, and if things don't change, if we don't do something, this is how, all schools are going to be, and it kind of is a little on point, to a degree, because I know there are parts of the country in different areas where, schools are like this. It's very violent, very gang infested, just not a very good environment. So it's, it's still pretty relevant today, which I think is something that I really was kind of drawn to this movie. Couple of scenes, though, that are in this movie that, hit me pretty hard. First one, I have to say, the first scene that I'm going to mention, probably, a lot more tame than the second one that I'm going to bring up, but it's still, both times that I've watched this, yes, because I've watched this movie twice, I wanted to really kind of get a good feel of this movie, but, the first, sort of scene that makes me, I want to say kind of uncomfortable and just a little, because you kind of see it coming. So this kid, Michael J. Fox's buddy, Michael Fox's buddy, these two, good kids, but one of them kind of is maybe falling into the wrong crowd, maybe following the wrong crowd a little bit, buys some drugs from this gang, takes a couple of snorts, here comes the new teacher, bust them all up. Michael J. Fox, of course, being the good kid, he didn't take anything, but he kind of stuck up for him and his friend. He's like, oh, I don't do drugs. My friend here doesn't do drugs either. Like, we don't even know what's going on in here. We just came in to use the facilities and the bathroom here. So the guy lets the two, good kids go, not even realizing, and he even admits this later to his wife that he wasn't even, paying enough attention when he should have to Fox's buddy, that he was on drugs, and what do you know, like a scene or two later, we see this kid who took drugs, probably for the first time, I'm assuming it was the first time, and he's all the way up, on the flagpole, singing, like, the national anthem, or the Pledge of Allegiance, I should say, and you kind of know what's coming, but you're just like, oh, please, no, oh, please, no, 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 and, like, just as he's finishing the song, the flag pretty much gives out, and he plummets to his death. Like, that, to me, because, like I said, it's not, like, necessarily a very graphic scene, especially compared to the scene I'm about to mention, but it's just still like, just it gets me. It has gotten me both times. It probably always will kind of get me. It will be one of those scenes to me. Second one that I have to bring up, and especially to if you guys are anything like me, who are animal lovers and stuff, very fond of animals and stuff, oh, this will be very, very difficult for you. For those of you who have seen this movie, know exactly what I'm talking about. So, there is another teacher, a colleague of the, the new guy, Roddy McDowall's character, who's been there for, like, years, and he's very just run down, very tired. He's very just, not optimistic about the students or anything. He's always telling this guy, like, yeah, no, if teachers go, out for a leave of absence, they never come back. They're kind of like athletes like that. They never come back. These kids are bad. So he just very much run down, like, kind of rightfully so. But there is something that he very much loves, and that's his animals that he keeps at school for, like, his classes and stuff. And, he's always, like, oh, look at this one. Oh, it's, this is, about this sort of animal and blah, blah, blah. Just very, very connected to these animals. Well, after a night of being, or after an afternoon of being confronted by these two teachers in an alleyway for harassing two other students, the gang, of course, retaliates. They get revenge. No one's gonna, show us up or anything. We run this school. So they literally, they don't show them doing this, but they show the aftermath. Literally all the animals are dead in this guy's classroom, like, skinned and everything. It just, thinking about that right now, very, very tough. A very hard scene for me to watch. I will say that's pushing the limit for me. It really is. But like I said, I had to really kind of at least give you guys, let you guys know about those scenes, especially the animal scene, because I didn't want people going in, enjoying this movie, get to that point and be like, oh my god, what the? Just wanted to give you guys heads up. Like I said, it's very important to the storyline. It is. I get why the scene's in there. I wouldn't really dispute on having or argue to have that scene out. Like, oh, we didn't really need it. We kind of really did. As you see this movie going on, it makes sense. So I'm not upset at the fact at, like, oh my god, they slaughtered animals. It's okay. I get it. I get why they did it. It's just a tough scene. But no, this is actually a really, really decent, underrated movie. Like, you guys need to check it out. I know a couple of you guys, when I first got this a few months ago, were kind of asking about this one, if it was more of a futuristic science fiction type one. This one is not, but the Class of 1999 is. But it's still, even if you're not into the whole kind of, like, futuristic, post-apocalyptic type of sci-fi movie, kind of like that, still check out Class of 1999. I still think a lot of you guys might enjoy it, even if it's not quite up your alley. It's not quite your thing, because it's really not quite my thing, but that movie kind of works for me. It does. And it's kind of interesting to see the differences between this one and the second one, where the class of 1999, it's actually the teachers kind of you gotta look out for. But definitely check this one out, you guys, if you have not seen it. This is the Scream Factory release of it. I definitely think it's worth spending a couple bucks on it for it. So, or even if they have, they're always having their little like flash sales and stuff and clearances. Definitely check it out. Get it like during that time or something, just to at least check it out. But till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.